Hello, hello, everybody. Super excited to be with you today and be talking about habitual money wasting. If you pay very close attention, you will know that I actually advertised this for last week and somehow completely forgot that I said I was going to talk about it and talked about the glass ceiling instead. So if you're hitting your head against the glass ceiling and you want to go back to last week's episode, please feel free to do that. We can make sure that you get connected to that video. But today we are going to be talking on Materialize TV about habitual money wasting. And this is something that I have run into as I have conversations with current clients and then even potential clients. They are very concerned that they will not put to use the services that we provide. And so it got me to thinking about what is that and where has that shown up for me in my life? And for sure, I want to be the first to raise my hand and say, I know that I have been guilty of that, whether it is even buying a new pair of shoes or a dress or something like that, and then it sits in the closet and never to be seen again, until you pull it out to take it to donate or something. So first of all, I would love it if you would drop in the comments below if you have been guilty of this. I don't want to assume that just because you're watching the video that you feel like that is you. You may be feeling like you're learning it for somebody else or for one of your clients or maybe your spouse. So I don't want to make any assumptions that you have struggled with this, but if you have, please let me know that it has been a struggle for you. And if you're not sure, keep on watching because we're going to go through what some of these, whether you want to call them symptoms or signs of habitual money wasting might be. So as with most things that we do here at Uncoached, we are going to break down the topic in the ABCD format, awaken, believe, captivate, and dance, and help you get the clarity that you need. Okay? So we will start now with the awaken. And again, we've had a huge jump in people watching. So first of all, thank you for being here. Thanks for watching. I'm Tracy, if we haven't met before. And hey, Amber, thanks for joining us on your birthday. Everybody say happy birthday to Amber McDaniel in the comments. So let me know if habitual money wasting is something that you have struggled with. If you already know where it is that you've specifically struggled with that, I would love to know. And then we can gear conversation towards that. And I apologize, but this is bothering me, being able to see that. So also, I'm really excited because it dawned on me that there's something that I do, like a self-management hack and tip that I want to share with you guys, but I'm not going to do it on today's video because then that's be a whole different tangent. But stay tuned because I'm totally going to be sharing that with you guys here soon. All right, so awaken. If you are a note taker, you can type awaken in your notes or in the chat. We are going to be going through some of these things. All right. Hey, can you get to where you need to be? There's doors closing and all kinds of stuff happening around here. Thank you, darling. All right. So we want to awaken to the potential that our current results have to do with our stewardship. Okay, so that's point number one. The results that you're experiencing currently are very much connected to your stewardship of your resources. Now, the title has to do with money, right? Because we are all concerned, especially if you're in business, about money. That's the way that our world operates. However, I also want to draw your attention to the fact that time is money. So if you are a habitual money waster, chances are you're also a habitual time waster. Sorry if I hurt anybody's feelings. No, I'm not really sorry. And it's possible that you are a time waster, but not a money waster. However, they're probably pretty closely tied together, okay? Stewardship, it's a big deal. And you may find that you are not completing things. That could be a way that you're either wasting money or wasting time. However, I also want to draw your attention to the fact that if you are somebody that has gained the value from something and then you're simply continuing to spend time or money on it after having gained the value that you wanted from it, that could also be a form of waste. If I purchase a book, and let's grab, this is just an example of something that's sitting on my desk, 101 Weapons of Spiritual Warfare. And the reason that I purchased this book, I'm making this up now. Let's say the reason that I purchased this book is to deal with a very specific issue. And I find the information in this book and I apply the information in the book. But then instead of moving on to the next bit of knowledge that I really need in a pressing way, I put that pressing need on hold because I haven't finished this book. That would actually be poor stewardship of my time, which means poor stewardship of my dollars, because I can earn dollars with my time. Is that making sense? So don't be so legalistic that you are actually spending time or money on something that doesn't need to be finished. Okay? So the whole finishing concept can work both ways. All right, so we have to be stewarding that time and those dollars effectively. And effective doesn't always mean finishing. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. Okay? You may also be spending on things that are not directly supporting your goals, or indirectly. You can spend on things that directly and indirectly support your goals. Now, here's an example of one thing that I spend on, and don't judge me. Don't you even begin to think about judging me, because I'm not going to judge you, okay? I have started tanning. It makes me feel good. And yes, I may get cancer from being in the sun or in a tanning bed. It's not every day. It makes me feel good. And when I feel good, I exercise more. And when I exercise more, I eat better. And it's like a really good cycle for me. And it increases my energy, which means that I show up for my family and my relationships better, and I get more work done. That one little thing for me indirectly impacts the rest of my time, which actually truly, legitimately increases my income. It's crazy. So that would be a very good example of something that is a good expenditure and a good use of my time, because I love to lay there for 9 minutes and like completely zone out and be warm, especially when you're in Indiana, it's cold. Okay. Now, at the same time, I have also been guilty of spending on things like Audible, which is good. Audible is great. And I've been a member of Audible for years, and I'm not going to stop being a member of Audible. However, I am pretty on top of it as far as pausing my membership and then catching up on the books that I've read or purchased. And then months go by and I will unpause it again. That saves me the $15 or $16 every month that I've got it on pause, because I've got plenty of books in there to read right now. And sometimes it's good to go back to those ones and read, right? So that's all part of stewardship, both of your time and your money. All right. So not completing the things that would be beneficial, completing the things that are no longer beneficial, spending on what doesn't support your goals. If I continue to spend on Audible right now, that is not supporting my goals. I've got financial goals, and spending an extra $16 a month does not support those goals right now when I'm not even reading this stuff. I have also in a big way, I have flown to events across the country, spent hundreds of dollars on hotel rooms, more money on meals, and spent days on end with other people away from my family to soak up knowledge, and then not implement it. Have you been guilty of that? Or I have paid for thousands and thousands of dollars of courses and then not implemented it. I want to learn it all, and I want to learn it all, and I want to know it all. But then I've been too scared or not ready or had all kinds of limiting beliefs that held me back from actually implementing the information. Information is not going to serve you if you don't apply it, right? So I have had people literally join my coaching program and pay me as a coach, literally so that they can put themselves in a space of accountability and emotional growth and mindset growth so that they can implement the things that they've already paid for. It's true, because there are some of us that are obligers. And if you are, that goes back to Gretchen Rubin's 4 tendencies. If you're an obliger, you will need more external accountability to get things done than some other people, other personality types. That's okay. Align your situation with the way that you're designed so that you can get the most out of your investments of both time and money. Okay. Another thing, another sign, we're still under the header of awaken. We're still uncovering awareness around this topic. You may avoid looking at where your dollars are going. You may avoid cleaning out your wallet. You may avoid making a budget. You may avoid looking at the bank account. Did that. And of course, that's going to coincide with wastefulness in all these other areas. So if you are scared, maybe you're even avoiding calling yourself scared of avoiding the stuff. But if you're scared, if you got resistance and kind of that wall internally of not wanting to spend time on all of those things, there's still some stuff there to work through. Okay? If you're not eager to see where your dollars are going, there's still stuff to work through. Okay, that is impacting the way that you are managing and stewarding those dollars. I'm going to go ahead and call it out. If you're not tithing and giving appropriately and regularly, as scripture calls, then there's going to be some spiritual blockages to your financial success. Okay. All right. So we're moving on from awaken, and that is probably the biggest bulk of our time. So don't freak out and assume that this is going to be an hour-long video. Okay. But we're going to move into believe. And when you believe that this behavior can change, then you may be ready for some mindset shifts and inner healing around past experiences that are going to move you forward to no longer duplicating the behavior that is not serving you. You first have to believe that you can make the changes, that God can do this through you, and that there is good opportunity and potential for doing so. If you don't believe that it's going to be worth it, you won't do the work to actually change the behavior and do the inner healing that needs to happen around the mindset that we have around our dollars and our time. There's many of us that don't believe that our time is worth very much. So obviously you're not going to you're not going to spend your time and steward your time the same way as somebody who believes that their time is really valuable. It's fascinating when I ask my clients, how much do you charge per hour? What is your time worth per hour? Most people have not thought that through. It's a really good thing to sit with. And you will find that you may be surprised by your own answers. You may be surprised that you don't know. You may be surprised that it actually is going to impact your decision making. So we've got to believe that our time is connected to our dollars. We've got to believe that we have the ability to make changes in this area. And then we've got to seek out the help that is needed to get healing around our past stories. To share a story in this area, besides me spending tens of thousands of dollars on things that I didn't apply, and probably just as many hours on it, the hours to me have not gone to waste because I have course corrected and started to implement all the things that I've learned. So I always, consistency is important to me. And I've told you guys that none of my experiences are a waste. And I don't believe that any of your experiences are a waste either. They're all part of our story, right? But there is healing that needs to happen around that story. And when we're talking about wastefulness and money, that level of healing usually needs to increase exponentially, because we carry around a ton of stories around that. So your failure in past things, I'm going to say the word things right now, and then I'll explain. Your failure in past things may not have been a result of you being a poor steward. So I want to call that out. All of this is not saying that this is your fault and this is your fault and this is your fault and this is your fault. There is a difference between offers. And I don't know that this is taught on very much. So you may purchase a book, and the author's expectation is typically not that this one book will be all that you need from them. However, you may be expecting that this one book is going to change your life and be the only thing that you ever need, whether you actually say that consciously or subconsciously. Same thing with a podcast. We have these huge expectations of things that are actually intended to just be a nugget. And then let's move up to, let's say, a course. We see a course for sale. And we think, okay, my $97, this is going to be it. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so much more impactful than just reading a book. And it's going to do the trick. And so we pay that $97 and then we soak up all the information. Maybe not. Maybe you don't even get through all of that $97 because it wasn't a big enough investment for you to actually light a fire under your butt to finish it. Was that the person's fault that offered it for $97? Nope. That part would be your fault, because if you purchased it and needed the external accountability to complete it, but did not put that into your life so that you had the external accountability to complete the course, that would be on you. Okay? However, if that person who offered the course offered accountability and you chose not to take it, that would be on you. But if that person is offering something that by far they know, that person knows, then in order for you to implement that, you would have to have something else to draw in, and they knowingly don't provide that for you, that's really on them. So for example, this happens at a really high level too. I'm not talking about just beginner businesses, 0 to 50K, that kind of thing. This is happening at the very top, and it makes me so furious, because what will happen, what I see happening, is that people will make an offer. They'll throw a course out there, but they don't provide you the support that you need to be able to utilize it. They either need to offer it for you or straight up tell you, you're going to need this, this, and this to be successful with this course. Shouldn't we be provided with that information? We should. That would be a good business ethic. That person would have lots of integrity to tell you that, which is why I have never offered CEO Flow as a course. Because I know that if I only provide you that information without the support and the accountability, it's not going to serve you well. I could take so many more people's money if I dropped the price and just put the recordings out there. But it's not going to serve you well. So all of that to say, it may not be your fault. So don't allow all of this to hype guilt or shame on top of you, because that is not going to serve you well. Are you with me here? Is any of this resonating? Let me know in the comments. Leave the guilt and the shame behind. There's no reason to continue carrying that with you. And to throw it out there, reach out to us. That's a big part of what we do in this business, is work through that inner stuff. Okay, so that you can do the things that you actually want to do. Okay, we're moving on into C, which would be the third step, okay, which is captivate. All right, we did awaken. We had our light bulb moments going off of where and how you might be a habitual money waster. We went through believe. We talked about what types of healing might need to take place and alignment around the beliefs that you have around the habitual money wasting and time. And now C, we have got to love what we've spent on wisely. Just because you may have made some poor choices with your money does not mean that all of the money spending has been unwise. So love that part of yourself that has made really wise decisions, because you have. You know that you have made some really good choices when it comes to your dollars, and you've made some really good choices when it has come to your time. Love the part of yourself that has completed what has needed to be completed, and love the part of yourself that has left what can be left undone. None of it's bad. Love the way that God has continued to bless you, even though you've made some poor choices. Love the abundance of options and opportunities that you have in front of you. Because if you've made a poor choice, guess what? It was still a choice. You were still given a choice and an opportunity, and be so grateful for that. I am going to answer your question, but give me a second, okay? And love that part of yourself that is still here, that is still showing up. Love that part of yourself that says, I'm still ready and open to course correct. Like, if we think about our own kids, how grateful are we? And how proud are we when they are in a space of saying, yeah, that wasn't really awesome. I'm willing to hear what you have to say, mom or dad, so that I can do better next time. That's you right now. And we are making the Father so pleased. Allow him to be your living currency. Allow God to be your living currency. It is going to make a huge shift in the way that you steward your money. And D, dance in the new aligned actions that you choose. D, dance in the new aligned actions that you choose in regards to your money. So here's what I would like for you to do today. I would like for you to drop in the comments below one action that you're going to take. And I'm going to read out a few options, okay, to get your brain working and to give you some ideas of what I'm talking about. Because anytime that you learn something and apply it immediately, the chances of your continuing to improve in that area increase dramatically. That's proven. So perhaps you cancel a subscription. Perhaps you look through the apps on your phone and go and cancel one that is no longer used. Perhaps you step out of a call that's on your calendar that is no longer a good use of your time. Perhaps you look at the information that you've paid for already and you find some accountability around it so that you actually implement that information. What is one thing that you can do today in the next even hour that is going to help you course correct and take action on what you've learned today? I see you guys watching. Maybe you're driving, but I want to see some comments and see that you are coming up with something small that is going to have a momentum shift for you in this area. Okay? Celebrate your progress. Celebrate that you are making progress in the area. That is very much a part of the dance phase, and it is really important for continuing the momentum in this area for your success. Okay, so I'm going to recap. Awaken. We are uncovering all the different ways that this habitual money wasting may be showing up in your life. Step B would be believe that change is possible. Believe that inner healing in this area is possible. C, fall in love with all those different things that have happened, with all the parts of you, of the decision making, and for all the options and choices that you've had. And D, choose one action that you can dance in and celebrate the momentum that you're creating. Okay? So A, B, C, and D. Love myself in the progress. Yes. Like that step of just being okay with where you're at is really good. It's really good. And you know, it's kind of funny, the way that I learned that was actually in direct sales, because what I had to come to grips with was that I needed to max out. That's the way that I would frame it. I want to max out this rank. I'm not ready to move on to the next rank until I max out the potential, all the meat of this current rank. Max out where you're at right now, and guess what? You'll be at the next stage before you know it. Quit trying to be at the next place and at the next place and at the next place. Max out where you're at today. That is going to highly increase the stewardship of both your time and your money. Get my schedule done so that I stop wasting so much time. My budget is now under control. Now it's time to get my time under control. Love that. Love that. Love that. Thank you for sharing. And that other CEO flow hack that I mentioned, that will be a fun one for you when you're working on your time. Joanne. That's your name now, right? Okay, so we've recapped. I would love that if this has been valuable to you, share this Materialize TV with your friends. Invite them to the Materialize Impact Facebook group. And by all means, make sure that you and your friends get registered for the Queen Esther Marketing Challenge. That blows people's minds. It still blows my mind, like how God would reveal marketing through the life and the actions of Queen Esther, because she marketed herself very powerfully and her cause to save herself, save her people, and not stop there, but to full on create a legacy of impact. And that's what we're all trying to do, right? We've got a message. We want to get clear on it. We want it to be bold and speak it in a unashamed manner, so that it has massive impact on the lives of others. So be sure to share all of that. And I will be back here, of course, for a full-on live next Thursday. And in the meantime, I will get that little hack out to you because I'm super excited about it. I'm living it today, which is why I'm thinking about it. And oh, there was a question. I want to respond to this question. Let me go back. Yes, Beyond Blessed is a book by Robert Morris. Fantastic book that talks about stewardship and dollars. I recommend that. What if I wanted someone to go over my spending with me? That sounds like a almost like a budgeting coach or a financial coach. And there are lots of them out there. That is not something that I personally do. There are a couple of great resources that I have recently, well, I've knew about them and have come back like full circle around those. One is called the Profit First book. Very good. And the website, Profit First, it's probably.com. Check into that. The other thing that I really like is a concept and a budgeting app that we are getting ready to implement for ourselves called YNAB. You need a budget. So that's the acronym, YNAB. And if you just Google YNAB, you need a budget, you will come up with that. I want to say it had some, the website has some kind of free trial that was like an odd number, like 34 days free or something. I'm not sure where 34 comes in. I'm sure there's a meaning to it, but it's been on my list to do and implement because I'm already using a lot of those concepts, but just not with the actual software. So now I'm going to be implementing that software as well. But I hear amazing things about it. So you may want to check into that. And if you went through the Esther challenge, like if you've already registered for the Esther challenge from previously, no, you don't need to re-register. You'll still get the notifications about the next one coming up. So good question. And working on a better schedule. I'm working on loving and accepting where I'm at. That's fantastic. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for the interaction and for showing up here today. Many, many balanced blessings to you. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.